Hi guys, here's one for you. I was going through my a load of stamps that I've got to sort out, and came across this. Searched online, done all the usual stuff. No sign of anything. Uh, there's your clue. Get my fingers out of the way. It's an adhesive, that's for sure, and it's not a very good one. Um, you'd struggle to get this off paper. You really would. I don't even think. I think if I don't get rid of it, I'll give it a go. Um, really is a an odd stamp. 7 perfs up the sides, none across the top. It's just a straight cut top and bottom, as you can see. And it's King Michael the Good, 47p. Now you've got to understand that this is magnified, Jesus knows how many times. Um, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't get print like that. It just doesn't look right. Well, what's this supposed to be? Up to 500 times, I think it is. But if you look at a normal, let me give you a normal stamp. There's a normal stamp. Vast difference. Vast difference. So that tells me that this must be a Cinderella. And now Cinderella is a stamp that's not a stamp. It's not got no snot sign. Snide. I've actually put that in writing. Snide. It's got no sign of cancel mark, and everything is just looking fake. I've searched everywhere. The only thing I could do is sign up to a stamp club and see if anybody's got a clue. But now I see this printing. I'm sure now. I'm pretty sure that it's a fake or Cinderella. The only way I could do it is if I got some water down in that crease. If you got some water down, might undo the adhesive, because you can see there that it's sort of lifting, I think. So maybe it's not as adhesive as I thought, because I've tried pulling it from the ends and it doesn't want to know. It really doesn't want to know, and that's unusual for an adhesive to get them that strong. It has got damage to it anyway. You can see where I've tried pulling it up. I'd love to know what it is or who done it, because it looks quite funny. I'm trying to think of who would King Michael the Good be in someone's eyes. And it's 47p. Not necessarily p, but if it's English it would be 47 pence. We started doing adhesive stamps in 1993, and then in 2000 and is it 2009? They started putting security tabs on them, but I don't know if that was just machines or on all tabs. All tabs. Oh, flipping it! adhesives. And that's, yes, it's not true, is it? Because I've got an adhesive here that's an, an E stamp. So so it's no, it's not pre. The earliest it can be is 1993, because I can't assume it was only machines, I think, that had the security tabs. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I've been really ill, so that's probably why you haven't seen me. The last 2 days I've been unreal, unreal. I won't give you the details. Um, but I've had this now. This will be the 4th week. Monday would have been the start of the fourth week. I've had. Well, no, you don't want to know. But yeah, so I thought I'm well enough now to sort of have a go through these stamps. This one pops up. It's 6.5 by 2.5 centimetres. So it's 2.5 centimetres wide, 3.5 upright length, depending how you look at it. But at that printing, I'm glad I came on here, because that is not any printing that I know. I don't think we've got any. Where's that tab? Let's have a look at that. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. Look, that's the same. Well, now that's interesting. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty much the same. Yeah. So that's very interesting. The other giveaway, I suppose. No, the other giveaway is no Queen's Head, even though it's got Royal Mail on it. There you go, Royal Mail. It's got no Queen's Head, so that tells you definitely that it's not UK. So it wouldn't have Royal Mail on it. There's the clue. I just wonder if anybody knows. I mean, some people really do collect this stuff. I did have a little spate of collecting. And that's funny, the way that's been cut. Look, on the top left corner. That doesn't look like a scissor mark to me. It's really quite odd. But I'm glad that I did do this on here, because now I'm in a real quandary, because I know that print is used in stamps. Really unreal. Oh, he looks quite a dude, doesn't he? Yeah. He's got that smug look about his face, hasn't he? But why doesn't that... That's the print I can see on the other stamp, on my stamp. There. This... Not so much this. You can see it. But it's this like round... I suppose it's like the round part of that. But that on there looks much bigger. And that's what is on the stamp that I've got. My adhesive stamp here, which I know is valid. You can make them out. So it's a good one. It's a good one, but a bad one. There's, like I say, no Queen's Head is the giveaway. So I can't see any other country that Royal Mail would have anything to do with other than the UK. Normally, normally someone wouldn't stick Royal Mail on it. I suppose because that is the biggest clue you've got that tells you it's not real. The fact that if they hadn't stuck that on there, that would have kept you guessing. But the fact they've stuck Royal Mail on it has given it away. Especially as Royal Mail. I've been on their site and obviously there's nothing. Yeah, so any stamp collectors out there, or Cinderella collectors, I should say, it would extend out to Cinderella's is now, and I think I've covered this before in YouTube, but I'll go over it again. Cinderella's was a haven. It's a bit like the BU thing in coins. It's just a label to make something more desirable. It gives it a meaning, if you see what I mean. Well, you got the same with Cinderella's. The thing Cinderella, the label itself, opens up a whole can of worms. Now, I've been on eBay, of course, and I've looked under their categories, and under philatry, you've got the Cinderella tab, but there's also right at the bottom, there's fakes, forgeries, and something else. Have I got the page open? No, I haven't. Let's see if I can do that again. If I put stamps in, I'll bring it up and read you. Right, no. So it wants me to come to the cell tab. Stamps. Search. So it then gives me that. Then I go to this and we go scroll down to stamps. You don't use their tabs because as soon as you use their tabs, you don't get what you want. eBay's a pain in the real butt. It really is. Yeah, so you get Cinderella's at the top. Then you get maxi cards, memorabilia, other philately, postal stationery, replicas, repros, and forgeries. Well, I know there's a guy on the internet, and I usually give him a look through when it comes to something like this, just to see if it's a well-known forgery. Even I get caught out at times, but I do try my best to, because there's so much of it out there. There's so much forgeries and fakes and stuff. It's unreal. Really is unreal. Stamps. That's why I gave up stamp collecting. It just got beyond a joke. And this guy, I look at his website. He actually chases people down for this. But I mean, this is so blatantly obvious. that it's not real, it wouldn't come under that. That's what he comes under, sort of replicas, repros, or forgeries. That's what he actually comes under. Illegals, he calls them, but forgeries and illegals are the same thing. A stamp that's made to look like a stamp, which is the heading really of Cinderella's. And it's trouble is, you see, his gripe was these big catalogue companies like Stanley Gibbons and Michael and what's the other big one? Oh, there's another big one. Anyway, there's a number of them really, and they've all started going for this, putting it under labels of Cinderella's, and that's what they list them as in their catalogues. Well, if you're doing that, like he says, you're giving the impression that they are not actually stamps, look like a stamp in that sort of. Let me give you an idea. I didn't think I'd ever turn out like this. Here is, oh, no, not that one. This. See, now you can see the printing on this. Do you see it? It's exactly the same. Now this is a label from I can't remember what year it was. This was in the middle, and you'd have 2 rows of stamps. I'm doing it on here, and I keep forgetting. This is why I should sort of. You've seen that, right? You've seen these. You've seen that these little round marks. These are more larger than what's on mine. I want to get that out of the way. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. See all that? But it is dotted. Hang on a minute. Let me get my block of wood. Where's my block of wood? Come on, where are you hiding? There. Let's do this for you. It's more entertaining. Sorry, I'm having to do this pain in the backside. Right, there's my block of wood. Let's get this on there, like so. Bring that across. Right, yeah. So even still magnified, you can see these little round dotted marks. But this is, you see the perfs are up the sides. I'll use this. The perfs up the sides here. There was a stamp. There were stamps attached either side to it. But these are called labels. They used. Oh, yeah, I'll give you some more here. Look, there's another one. I can't remember what year it was. There's another one. Actually, there's a set really, because so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. Are 2, 4, 5, yeah, 5, and then either side, so you would have a set of 10 stamps. There was actually 10 first-class stamps. But see, I've tried listing these, not as stamps, but as what do you call it? what do you call that? When you make birthday cards and stuff, stationery. You know, you could use this as for that sort of purpose. But some people took it a step too far and came up with the offending article there. And there you see it under not so great magnification. But you can see that now. You can see it here. This is where when you get an idea. So it's been done by the same sort of print. I'm wondering if it's a local. You used to get islands, little select islands, would make their own stamps, but Royal Mail would not have one like this. There would be a Queen's head on it if it was Royal Mail, and it wouldn't have Royal Mail if it was done on an island. It'd have the island's name. So there's the real main clue, but it still has uh, a spanner in the works because of that print. I would need to find. Oh, I've got some fake stamps somewhere. Oh, geez, I saw them earlier on as well. You usually see, when you get fakes, you usually get them as imperfs, what they call imperfs, imperforates. They don't have a perf at all. It's just a square or an oblong. It doesn't have a perf. And this is why, you see, this is the problem. These weren't stamps to be made to look like stamps. These were stamps because they was attached to stamps. These are just a label. And this is where it all goes cockeyed, you see. See, like that one, you could use on a Valentine's card. That one, someone who's into aircraft. What's that, a bow tie? So that could be a party or something like that. Ink, someone's into writing. And a pair of keys, maybe it's 21st birthday. So that's the sort of thing that Cinderella's actually came under. Stamps that were stamps. Stamps that were stamps but weren't stamps. They just looked like stamps. And in the UK, we can go back, right back, years ago. When I was a nipper, we used to have what they used to call green shield stamps. And you used to collect these stamps, and they didn't have a monetary value, but only to the company. Used to get a book, and you had to fill these books up with these green shield stamps. And you got these stamps when you exited the checkout. You know, the old girl you just get a load of them, reel out, and then you used to stick that into these books, and then that became worth of value. It's pittance, really, but if you didn't exchange them for the valedictory of it, you could get all these catalogues. You get catalogues with all these things in it that you could swap them into, use them for. So it's well worth having back in the day. A lot of people. It's like when I was a kid. You take the old bottles of beer, the empty bottles, R whites, soft drinks. You used to take those bottles back to the retailer, and he'd give you. I don't think it was sixpence. It might have been sixpence. I don't think it was. I think it was more like threepence. For some reason, I don't know why I've got that in my mind. But it was either sixpence or threepence. It was it's quite a lot of money then. You know, the trouble is, CB's. No, I won't tell you that. It brought its own problems. Bless them. So, yeah, very interesting. Very interesting indeed, this one. The clue as well is the abnormal perforations. 7 perfs for a stamp is unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen a stamp with 7 perforations other than this one. So that's the other clue. But I've got to say, that's a good stamp. Don't you reckon? I do. I think it's just... It had me going for a minute. I thought, what the heck's this? Royal Mail? I don't recall ever seeing a Royal Mail stamp like this. Yeah, and the other clue is, where was it? That corner. Where was it? Oh, there. Yeah, that corner. Left-hand corner. That is not a pair of scissors. And it's not a normal... I suppose you could get it as a tear. But I find it hard to believe that that would be a tear. It's got jagged marks, so it's a cutter of some sort. And it's not, if you look at this side, it's not this side, see? That's how it should be. And it's not this side. If it tears, normally you would get a piece left behind. But I suppose being adhesive, I'm not sure. See, it looks like something's had to go there. But that could have been like there, where there's been a crease in it. If only it was on proper. Oh, is that a cancel mark? Oh, maybe that is a cancel mark there. Oh, that could well be a cancel mark. It could well be a cancel mark. What a bugger. That looks like an indication of a cancel mark. That. And there's a piece of it there as well. Oh, whoever cut this down. And this is the thing with, see, this is the other thing about stamps. When you collect stamps, you want an outside. I've forgotten what a half an inch is it? I think they say, or it might be even quarter of an inch. You want to give it a quarter of an inch board. You really want part of the cancel because it validates. Because look, it's even there as well now. Look. Oh, this is all coming to light now. Look. But it still doesn't look right if it's a cancel mark. If it's a cancel mark there, well, depending what type of cancel mark it is. Because sometimes you just get like oh yeah, no, I'd bore you to tears with cancel marks. It's not a cancel mark that I would. If it was there and there, you would assume that somewhere here you would have had a part of it. But it does look like ink. Cool. I tell you what, that's when you know if someone's fogged the Royal Mail. They put that on there and it's actually worked. it's fooled someone and it's gone through. Yeah, even that sneakily now to me looks like it is. See, that is where the paper's risen, but it could be. Anyway, I don't think it is. I'm going to go by the. See there, it's got a tear. But then, like I say, that could be the that ridge. Something's folded. It's been folded. You know, it's definitely been on an envelope. So if you look at the rear, that's the tab you get at the top of an envelope. But that, you see that there? Yeah, see that there could be what you're seeing on the other side. Let me fold that back over. So it's on the bottom left. Yeah. And on the bottom left, what do we have? We have that there, and we have this here. That's more like the middle. So that could be the mark of the envelope. You know, when you have what do they call that now? It's a watermark in the envelope. That's what that could be. The only thing is, it doesn't seem to appear to be on any part. Or is that what it? No. See, if that's an adhesive, there's no way you would see that on the other side. But again, it does look like the same thing. But those dots under, see there, he got that blemish on his cheek. I don't know. Anyway, but it's a fabulous subject. I collected them under. We used to have expos, which are places like you'd have a proper stamp exhibition, and that's what they are, expos. And sometimes they would make up stamps for these expos, just solely for that. And have I got one in my drawer I can show you? Oh, no, I haven't. I wonder what I did with those. I had them. Princess Diana's wedding, Exeter. I don't know why they would be in that drawer normally. They were collector's items. People would collect them, and I bought ages ago. God blimey! They got married in 1997. So it must have been around about that time. I bought 100 of them, but I didn't know anything about them at the time. I didn't even know whether they were stamps or not. Used to get them on first day covers, and I haven't got one of those handy either. Like I say, they were just for a stamp for a stamp to look like a stamp, And there's a whole amazing amount of people did these stamps. Like when there was a strike, Royal Mail strike. must have been back in the 70s. And this company took up delivering stamps, delivering mail themselves. Can't remember who the company was now. Offhand. But they sold stamps. And like I say, they was delivering themselves to beat what they wanted to do was to bring the Royal Mail down. That's what they wanted to do. Because it was a pain in the backside having all your mail backed up. And, you know, in them days, mail was the only way. You didn't have emails. Couldn't type to someone. You had to use a letter. So it's very important. And so even then, see, that tells you how something that people were trying to do good is actually bad. But that would have been something that would have been used. I might even later on, it's 8:20 now, might even later on just try having a look on a few sites to see if anybody's got one. Oh, you can spend hours doing this though, it gets really laborious. Especially with the internet. You type in like King Michael the Good and you'll get all King Michaels that are around the world, you know, not a cartoon character like what that is. Yeah, so if anybody out there, I shall be putting this on YouTube, and anybody out there knows what it is, other than a Cinderella, if they know who, how it was made, where it was made, be interesting. And I will see you soon, because I've got to go shopping at some point. I'm just making sure that I'm not. I've got over the main part. I got over the coughing and sneezing and runny nose. Although I still get a runny nose bedtime and morning when I wake up. But you get that with humidity anyway. But the last Sunday, it's Tuesday today. Sunday, I fell ill. Oh, I fell ill. Really ill. I can't tell you how ill because it's not very nice. But you know, it's that way in going. And I just couldn't. I couldn't keep anything together. So all I've been doing, and today, last night I had, I managed to keep down a cheese sandwich with tomato soup. It's one of my favourites, soup. Yes, I kept that down, and then today, so far, I've had 2 bowls of cereal, and that's been pretty good. But what tends to happen is I'll go to bed, and I'll wake up like, burning in my chest. It's as if my liver's thrown out some bile. So I must have eaten something. If that is the reason, I must have eaten something Sunday, and the liver was having trouble with it, or it could even be the gallbladder, and it was trying to expel that as quickest way possible. And yeah, I've been waking up as if my chest is on fire. See, normally you would think that's heartburn, but it's not. It's related to this, whatever happened to me Sunday. And the trouble with it now being classified as diabetic too, it opens up a whole can of worms that the medical profession just go, as soon as you get something, oh yeah, you're stage 2, and that's what they do. They label you, talking about stamps labeling you up. They label you up under a heading. So anything you get from now on will be like the virus. Like the virus, every year it comes round. As soon as we get into the flu time of the year, which is what, November, for winter, everything. If you've got a sniff, it's a virus, and yeah. So that's how it goes. So that's why I never even bothered trying to go to the doctor. But the cough and the runny nose, I've never blown my nose so much. It was all day, and even in the night, I was waking up having to blow my nose. And on this cough in the morning, oh dear, I suppose it's got something to do with the runny nose, where I'm probably snorting it backwards. It was going into the sort of like the back of the throat. But oh yeah, 3 weeks I've had that, and it's because Sunday I thought brilliant. I really went over the top, mind you. Sunday I was over the moon, could eat and not have any issues. No flu symptoms. So I really thought that's why I went over the top and started eating like too much, really, and that's probably what did it. Um, so yeah, I was getting a bit worried today because I thought, well, if I can't don't keep food down within 3 days, you've then got to start looking at the doctors. It doesn't really mean it, but you've got to be worrying, especially with the 2 weeks prior. But then having diarrhea and all sorts like I've had over the last couple of days. I've not had diarrhea before, and that's why I felt like, say, Sunday I thought I was over it. I thought, bingo, I'm over it, because I was going to watch a church online, and yeah. So anyway, I'll hopefully be back into the daily change routine soon. See how we go. Because there's a couple of things I've got to do. I've got to go see people about certain things. So look, you'll be seeing this soon. Okay. Thanks for looking anyway. Bye.